Really and truly and really. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Really and truly and really. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode. I got my beloved brother with me today. You know who he is. But if you don't, I got brother Imran ibn Mansour, aka the Dawah man. How did your thing go, your intro? I can't forget.
I'll do it halfway through the show if you ask me, because it has to be with the energy levels a bit up. Right now, the energy levels a little bit down. When the energy levels rise, then, you know.
It's one of them hype things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, khalas. Okay, cool. Let's get into the topic. Now, before I get into this topic, actually, the reason...
Salam first.
Oh, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Basically, by the way, this is a take 2 of a podcast that we tried to do, innit? Should I tell them?
No. It was a bit dead. It was a bit dead. How did the sound mashed up? So
yeah, so we're recording a different podcast. Anyways, the reason that I have agreed to do a podcast like this today is because obviously some of you lot might be like, "Wow, why are you always talking about marriage?" kind of thing. And it's not that I want to, but I feel like this one is needed. And plus, because of the context of the last couple of videos, couple backlash that happened, I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'll do this. Because me and Imran was talking, and the topic that he was like, let's do this topic. I was like, you know what? And obviously you can see it by the by the title. I was like, yeah, this is needed. The reason it's needed because we might as well go into what is it that a man needs to know if he's looking to get married. I'm not married yet. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, I will be getting married soon. And we have a married brother right next to me. Much older than me. He has the wisdom in this field, inshallah. We're going to find out, inshallah. And yeah, hopefully a lot of brothers who are watching can benefit from it. And inshallah, the sisters can benefit from it as well. By the way, I'm not that young, 23 years old. But obviously,
even though you look like 15.
It's true, I do. But alhamdulillah, in the long run.
When he was like 18 or 12.
Alhamdulillah. Do you remember what I was like?
Yeah, but it's barakah, like, you got youth in it.
Yeah, so basically the camera cut off because, we had a special friend guest come into the room. But yeah, so alhamdulillah, it's a good thing that, if you have a baby face. When you're 30, you look 20, inshallah. But anyways, let's put that to a side.
Or maybe a baby face doesn't work in your favor, innit?
Why?
You want to go into it?
Yeah, let's go into it. Since the topic is talking about manlyhood, inshallah.
See, he already knows why. Inshallah, and I have to go into it. No, but mashallah, you got other things that manifest your manliness. Allah barik.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But
Don't.
Alright, cool. So
you're a man. I'm not just saying it.
Of course I'm a man. But inshallah, okay, today's topic is going to be on what a man needs to know when he's looking to get married. What every man needs to know, inshallah. So we have a man who's married and a man who isn't married. Inshallah, I'm going to be seeking your advice today.
Inshallah.
Because obviously people want to get onto me saying I'm not married, I don't know anything. Inshallah, I want to learn. So today you're going to teach me, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, so what does a man have to know? Okay, say I'm getting married. Yeah? My wedding...
Don't be too far from the mic, though.
Yeah, say I'm getting married, right? And my wedding, inshallah, is in August, September, wherever it may be, yeah? What do I have to know? Like maybe up until then, what do I have to think about right now? What do I have to know in terms of my family? What do I have to know when the wedding happens? What do I have to know after? Chat to me, bro.
Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Well, actually, the question that you're asking is very, very broad. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very broad. And it can be answered and it can be tackled from so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have in my mind right now, I haven't structured this advice into like a chronological kind of, format. Where this is the first thing to know, second thing to know, third thing to know. But I got the stuff is all like in my head
In
right
your
now.
head.
Do you see what I'm saying? I've been planning on doing something where I put it together and sequence it in a appropriate kind of order. But let's just go into it, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, first and foremost that you need to know is you need to fear Allah Azza wa Jal when you're trying to get married. And this is one of the wisdoms behind why why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the khutbah at the time of marriage, he would recite the following verse: Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullah. O you who believe, fear Allah, haqqa tuqatihi, the way He deserves to be feared. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ, and do not die except in the state of Islam. So the question comes to mind, why at the time of marriage, which you think is a happy, auspicious occasion, which it is, where everyone is, man's getting married, there's about to be a party, food, slaughter a lamb. Like, I'm saying, it's a nice moment, right? But then the Prophet ﷺ comes out, oh, you who believe, fear Allah, the way that He deserves to be feared. You think, what's the context of that? One of the wisdoms and the benefits that we take is that now a man and a woman are about to be joined together in matrimony under the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, so this man is going to take the woman, this woman's going to take the man. Now you as a man need to know that this woman has rights over you that you have to fulfill. Okay, being a wife, she's coming into your care, your custody, your responsibility. So you need to facilitate for her that which Allah has decreed you have to facilitate for her. Okay, and now the rights that you need to give her are so specific that she can't get them from any other man in the world except for you. There's no one else that can give them to her except for you. Whether they be financial rights, it's only you that she's going to receive that from. Her dad is not there to give that to her anymore. No one is there to give that to her anymore. The shelter, the protection, the safety, the security, hatta the rights of intimacy, she can't get from no other man on the face of this planet except for you. So she's got rights that she needs, that are basic human rights that are required, and only you're the only man now as a husband that can give them to her. If you refuse to give them to her, you are going to fall into oppression. And that oppression is going to take place behind closed doors, inside your bedroom, where no one else is going to see. There's not going to be no witnesses. No one's going to come to help her. No one's there going to come to save her. No one's going to come to give her a helping hand. No one will know what's going on except for you two and Allah. So now when a man, he fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he's getting inside that relationship, he knows, there's a third one who's present over this relationship. When I'm in the room with my wife does something to annoy me, I'm not going to smack her in the face, which sadly a lot of men do. Why? Because he knows Allah is watching me. Does that make sense? Allah's going to hold me to account for any oppression that I do. A man's going to say to himself, I'm not providing for my wife, I'm not providing for my family, I'm not providing for her, right? She needs basic provision. She came into my house, my care for me to be able to facilitate that for her. She can't get it from no one else. Okay, he's oppressing her by not facilitating this for her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But he now knows Allah is the one who's watching over me, so I have to provide. Some men, money comes in, they're stingy. They don't give nothing to their wives. Or they spend that money going out with their boys or hiring cars or buying cars. And so many stories we've heard things like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Of course, it applies both ways as well. Sisters oppress their husbands as well on a very high level. But, and again, he can only get rights from her. These rights that Allah has decreed to be given from the wife, he can only get them from her. He can't go to other women. They all haram for him. He can only get it from her, right? So she denies him, she's also oppressing. But the reason I'm not going to talk about that and I don't want to go into the issues of women is because, like we said, the topic here, the discussion here is about men. So I'm going to do my best to just ignore the whole situation of my advice to women because I'm not talking to women. You asked me about what a man needs to know. Do you get me? That's the first thing. A man needs to know, he needs to fear Allah. If you fear Allah, then you're going to be conscious of how you treat her. You're going to be conscious of fulfilling her rights. You're going to be conscious of your manners, your characteristics. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You yourself are going to be the best possible Muslim you can be. Remember, women, at the end of the day, bro, whether you like it or not, I don't really give two damns about what the feminists say, but women are led by men, and the men are not led by women. A woman is not allowed to be a leader of a country. She's not allowed to be the leader of the country. She's not even placed as leader of the household. Okay, and that's not oppression. That's not sexism. Every team needs to have a captain, right? You can't play a basketball game or a cricket game without a leader, a captain. So how do you think you can run a house without a captain?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that Allah placed the man as a captain. Now, why can't a woman be a captain? Because Allah didn't give her the skills that she'd need in order to be a captain. The same way, a man can't turn around and say, I want to be the mum, I want to be the mother, I want to be the motherly figure of the house. Because Allah didn't give the man the skills that are required to basically run a house the way that Allah gave to a mum. That's why the mum has got 3 times precedence and priority above the father as a parent. Do you see what I'm saying? But in the dynamics of the relationship, husband and wife, the husband has been placed as a leader in charge of that situation. Does that make sense? So, and psychologically as well, if you look at it, women don't want to lead. when you look at women who are placed in situations they have to lead the household, make the decisions, lead the company, this, that, and the other, it gets very stressful for them.
Yeah.
And they prefer for that load and that weight to be given off to someone else, because Allah never made them with a biological, psychological conduct to be able to deal with that kind of a situation. So anyway, you being a leader now need to be the best possible leader. Lead by example. And wallahi, you'll be able to influence her in a very good way. A lot of men complain, my wife, she's not on deen, my wife, she's this, my wife, she's that. But what's your deen like? You know what I'm saying? Women, the same way you will cultivate and you educate and you develop your wife, is the same way you do it for children. I'm not saying that a woman is a child. I'm not saying that at all before they take me out of context. But I'm saying education, teaching, cultivation for children, it happens the same way you cultivate a woman, the same way you would cultivate even other men.
Yeah.
Education happens by action. Does that make sense? So you can't expect her to be a certain way. You're not a certain way. You're not getting up for tahajjud. How do you think she's getting up for tahajjud? You're not doing your dhikr after salah. How do you think she's getting up for dhikr after salah? Do you see what I'm saying? So you as a man, if you come with that concept of you fear Allah, you're going to fear Allah and make sure you fulfill her rights. You're going to fear Allah by make sure you are the best possible Muslim. And in that way, she's going to look at you as you're her role model. She's going to follow you in herself, in the way she raises her kids and so on and so forth and all that stuff. So that's the first thing. First thing a man needs to know is that Allah is watching over the situation.
Well,
if he does that, he won't.
Yeah.
A lot of fasad and problems will go. Even, just to mention quickly, issues of arguments and fighting. Of course, husband and wife are going to disagree. Of course, they're going to disagree. The man who fears Allah is going to say, okay, let's go to what the Quran and the Sunnah say. Let's let Allah and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sunnah be our judge. You see what I'm saying? But a man who don't fear Allah is not going to care. You see what I'm saying? I've been in enough situations. Me and my wife are going back and forth, and I'm disagreeing with her. And wallahi, that's when my wife, she just do a little bit of research, pause at a qawl of Ibn al-Qayyim, and wallahi, I have to be like, all right, you're right, I'm sorry, my bad. You know what I'm saying? But a man who's not, I'm not saying I'm like the most God-fearing man, I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just giving an example that I am a man who, alhamdulillah, I look at the Quran and the Sunnah and I submit to it because I'm Muslim. That's what every Muslim is supposed to do, right? So if she comes at me from that angle, I'm not going to argue. But some men, that's when the ego kicks in. That's when this kicks in. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, fear in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the foundation of the success of that marriage, and the lack of fear is the foundation of the failure of that marriage.
Yeah. 2 points, yeah. The first thing that you mentioned about the rights, that the man has to provide the woman with rights, yeah. So say, for example, one of the rights that a man has to provide to the woman is financial support. Okay. So does that mean that if I'm broke, that I can't get married?
Look, if you're broke, it doesn't mean that if you're broke, you can't get married. Yeah.
You're coming from a perspective now. Look, say if a brother, he has no money. He's trying to apply for jobs. Nothing's coming. But he's in a situation where now it is peak for him in terms of this brother. He needs to get married. He's, sexually frustrated. Yeah. Okay, he needs his...
You're saying he's got... Are you saying
he's got fear for zina?
Okay, are you saying he's got zero income, or he's just not got much income? He's got very little income.
He's got no income coming in, but he's making efforts in order to try and make income come in.
Look, as a rule of thumb, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, even if you're poor, get them married. يُغْنِهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. Allah will enrich you from His bounty. Yeah. Okay, so then that's one element. Now there's another element, which is a woman came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she said, Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, he's asked for my hand in marriage, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam discouraged her from marrying Muawiyah because he said because of his financial situation. Because of his financial situation. So now on one end you've got Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling you get married regardless of your broke financial situation. Then you've got another man, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling you don't marry him because of his financial situation. It's not a good financial situation. So then and this is beautiful personally, because I believe this shows that the deen is balanced. Okay, it's not telling you to hold off marriage at the risk of falling into haram because you don't have the peas or enough peas. At the same time, it's not telling you go in and get married irrespective of the concept of your finances. Because some women will just go some men furthermore expect that, right, let me just marry this girl even though I'm broke and he's not making no efforts, he's a bum, he's not putting in any serious effort to be able to provide for his family. You see what I'm saying? And he's expecting for a woman to just come in. It doesn't work like that. You see what I'm saying? The point, the balance is this: work hard, get a bit of income, even if it's a little bit. That Allah will place barakah in it for you, inshallah ta'ala, and find ways out for you once you actually go and get married. Do you see what I'm saying? But if you don't even have that mindset of let me go out there and get some money, you're just a bum, then akhi, you're not the kind of guy that any dad would give his daughter off to. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So a practical situation though, if I take your specific example, because you give me a very specific example, is that the guy's trying, but there's no money coming in. Really and truly, I don't believe that example exists. A guy wants to go and get a job, he can get a job. He really wants to make money, of course he can make money. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razzaq, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقُكُمْ وَمَا تُوعَدُونَ, and inside of the sky is your rizq. Allah took a qasam. He said, I swear, Allah is taking an oath, I swear in the sky is your rizq. Imam Hassan al-Basri said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took an oath. He swore, Allah took a qasam that your rizq is in the sky. And you still don't believe him? Allah didn't lie. The person lied. Do you see what I'm saying? He didn't try hard enough. At the end of the day, Allah is not going to deprive you of rizq and things that you need in order for you to be able to get the wealth that you need. Now pay attention. If now you're in a situation where you absolutely broke, you're faqir. Faqir is a person who doesn't have his provision for today or tomorrow or tonight. The day and the night. He doesn't have any food for the day, and he doesn't have any food for the night. Because you know that's the difference between a faqir and a miskin. Faqir, miskin, they both mean poor. Like in a miskin is a person very, 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 very poor, but he does still have, today and tomorrow's food. Faqir, that's miskin. Faqir doesn't have today or tomorrow. He's dependent on some external help. You see what I'm saying? So unless you're a faqir, let's just say you're in that situation. Do you know that in that situation, some of the ulama, if I'm not mistaken, it's in the Hanbali madhab, said that you can receive zakat. You're liable for zakat. Because a person he doesn't have food. Because look, zakat is there to help a person who's poor fulfill his basic needs.
Yeah.
Zakat, there's a reason why I mentioned this. Zakat is there to help a person who's poor fulfill his basic needs. So from your basic needs, what are they? Food, clothing, shelter, right? Are these your basic needs? Yeah. Okay, you're poor if you don't have these. If you don't have clothes, you don't have food, you don't have shelter, you're poor. So now you are liable for zakat. Well, some of the ulama, if I'm not mistaken, Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala said this. And this, I think, is the view that's there in the Hanbali madhab. He said that if that's the case, then marriage is more of a need sometimes than food. The need for a spouse, the need for companionship, the need to fulfill your sexual desires is sometimes a greater haja, a greater need than shelter. Like a man would rather be on the streets, sleeping in a cardboard box, than not have an avenue or to be able to express, relieve himself of his desires. So sometimes that can become a greater need than food, a greater need than shelter, even a greater need than clothes, because you might be falling into haram. Saying if that situation, you're liable for charity. So then the community should now come in, not just sadaqah, charity, zakat, you're liable. So if that's the case, then the point is that get money from the community. If you're really about to fall into zina, go to your mum, get some from your mum, get some from your dad, auntie, uncle, dude. This is a cause to get money from people, whether it be a loan, whether it be, listen, I need money right now. And the community should just be a bit more focused into and more in tune and perceptive with regards to what's going on with the youngers, and see situations like that and facilitate towards it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like even walimas, for example, like wedding now costs 10, 20 bags. So to have intimacy with a woman in halal, it will cost you 20 G's. But like to have intimacy with her in haram, cost you a ticket to the cinema. What's it, like £7, £8 now, ticket to cinema? £8, £9, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just, back in the day, they used to have Orange Wednesday, which was buy one, get one free. That costs you less, you know what I'm saying? So in those situations, they made zina less than £10. Fornication less than £10. But in halal intimacy, they made it 20 grand. And that's the lower tier. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying now, that's problem. Because in the time of the Sahaba, and one of the sunnahs is, a forgotten sunnah, so we let the sunnah go forth, is that everyone from the community comes in and chips in towards the walima. Everyone pays a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And it happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. One time, I think it was his marriage to Safiya bint Huyayy radiyallahu ta'ala anha, that the Sahaba came and some brought dried yogurt, some brought wheat, some brought this, some brought that, and then they made a massive walima, and it went on for 3 days. So everyone should be able to chip in for the wedding, help him for his days to come. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the point is that, really and truly, to sum up the question, because I answered it a bit of a long way, is be a man, go out there and get the money. You can get the money. If you're really not getting nothing, then really and truly, you're a bum. In this day and age, you're a bum. They even give you benefits nowadays, you know that, right? Subhanallah. But now, let's just say you really are sincere from the one guy, قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ, that you are trying every day, but Allah's testing your rizq is not coming your way. At that time, go get money from the community. Or the community, I'm not saying go beg them, but you know,
they should be in your aid.
it should be the community should be in your aid. And we should, you know, we should all be looking at who's the young guy who's struggling, you know, to get married and facilitate for him. But more time, I realize that case is just not real. Look, you got a job?
Yeah.
You got a job, Akhi? I got a job. You're trying to get a job, right? And you're trying to get married. Look, you're trying to get a job. You had an interview today, right? There you go. I'm bad. You're not trying to get married. And you got a job. He's not trying to get married, and he got a job. So for him, he's not trying to get a job. He's not trying to get a job. I even brought a girl to him the other day. He's like, bro, I'm okay. He's allowed to be broke, but he doesn't want to get married. No problem. No one's gonna get onto you. But you can't be coming to, yeah, I want to get married. Please get me a girl. You know what I'm saying? And then man's like,
but you're not doing nothing.
yeah, not doing nothing.
Alright, cool. You know another thing as well, yeah, to kind of move it to another topic is so you mentioned about this issue of arguments, yeah, between a man and a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, yeah. Alright, so obviously we know that a man and a woman has different mentalities, isn't it? How should a man react if his wife is just not being understanding just for the sake of, because obviously you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna have arguments in your marriage. What is the correct stance for? Because obviously sometimes you can come and say, you know what, the Quran and Sunnah said this, but your woman is just not gonna accept that from you. She's just in that mood where she's like, do you get me? She's not trying to hear that. What do you do in them kind of situations? Because obviously, like, you want to resolve the situation. You don't want the situation to escalate and so on and so forth. You don't want to argue.
Come a bit closer, mate.
You don't want to argue. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, like, how should a man be when it comes to arguments with his spouse?
So you're talking. I'm trying to understand. You're talking about a heated situation where, you know, in this situation, let's say it's a dispute with your wife. She's just not listening.
Yeah, she's just not trying to listen to you.
Oh, what? She's gone on a mad one.
Yeah, she's gone on a mad one. Like, for example, let's say you went outside. Okay, you told her that you're gonna be home late. Okay, it just happens to be that, you know, time went and you became a bit, you know, unaware of the time. Things dragged on, and you called her to let her know, okay, you're coming home. She's fine with it. When you get home, khalas, it's all curtains, everything.
What happened to her?
Huh? No, you're just out with your friends. You're out.
No, but you're saying she was okay with it, and the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
What do you mean?
Is that 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
What? How late you came?
No, I'm trying to understand the scenario. You're telling me you're out with your friends.
You're out with friends. Say, yeah, you said, I'm coming home at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You look at the time, it's now 10 p.m.
Okay, and you call her.
Subhanallah. Then you call her, and you're like, Subhanallah, I didn't see the time.
And she's okay with it.
I'm coming home in a bit.
Yeah.
Forgive me. And she's like, no problem, this, that.
But when
you get home,
and she starts switching.
And she starts switching.
Bro, my reaction would be to do ruqya, because there must be a jinn in that sister. She just a second ago said it's calm.
No, do you know the reason why I mentioned this? It's because situations like this happen. It's like,
yeah, I'm saying
everything is calm.
I would say, babe, sit down.
But
let's let me do some ruqya, you darling. Let's see what going for this little shaitan inside you today.
But no, seriously.
Yeah, I'm being serious.
Just sit her down.
That situation sounds a bit mad. I would do ruqya in that situation.
But
that specific situation you pay me, I'll do ruqya.
No, but not to even be kind of, what do you call it, too straightforward on whatnot. But even I see it from women, relatives in my family, they do get a bit emotional.
You're talking, she said to you, yeah, no problem, darling, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Yeah, you know, I did you 10 minutes, you're there. And you're like, I'll say, babes, come.
No, but okay, what if the woman now says, oh, you should understand that, or I was just, you know, I didn't want to cause a scene when you're out with your boys.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
then she comes home and she switches at you and so on and so forth.
So she had a reason. It's not like she's just nuts.
Yeah.
Some are nuts. Some people are nuts.
Bro, sometimes it is nuts.
Some people are nuts.
Sometimes it is nuts.
Yeah.
So what would you do in both situations?
Okay, look, jokes aside. Serious situation, what I would do, look, if you feel that your spouse is being unreasonable, and like I said, because a lot of the times we love to feel like we're always right. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, we're not always right. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And that's sometimes the hardest thing, to kind of just accept that, you know, maybe you might have got it a bit wrong. So you should always, especially if you're an authority figure in your household, no one's there to tell you you're wrong or to step to you. You know what I'm saying? You should always, because you don't have that other human being over you, you should always just have in your mind the propensity that you might be wrong. It helps. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's like an internal kind of battle issue of the heart that I don't really want to go into right now. But let's just say, if your wife is being unreasonable, the best way, and trust me, brothers, wallahi, it took me years and years to understand this, to develop this in myself, and I saw the power of it, is to deal with the situation in a very composed way. What I mean by that is to deal with it with a very cool head. Don't ever lose it. Like, don't switch. There might be a time where you have to just, you might just shout to get a point across. But there are some men, their default position is that when their wife starts going at it with them, they go at it with them. You have to understand, that's a very feminine characteristic. That's a very female characteristic, is when someone starts talking and, it's very catty. She starts, you never do this for me.
Yeah, but
and then he gets into it as well.
But it gets to a point, like, for example, it could get to a point where it's like, you're having that patience, you're in the cool mode. And she's just pushing your buttons.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's not just about having patience. Some guys just think that's another extreme. One extreme is the guy jumps into it with her and get into a little cat fight as if they're two sisters. The other situation is that he just thinks, let me just be patient. Let her effing blind me, say whatever the crap she wants, and I'm just going to take it. And then next time, he's going to go hug her again in the morning or whatever have you. There is a middle path, which is compose yourself, conduct yourself in a composed way, and air the hell out of her. And I'm telling you, this is powerful. They call it silent treatment. But on the roads, we call it airtime. Akhi, women crave attention. Women crave attention. They really do in a relationship. They crave it more than men. This is a fact, psychological fact. Women crave more attention in a relationship than men. Okay? Not saying all of them are clingy, not saying all of them are like that, but women crave more attention than men. And they crave attention through the 5 love languages, either through quality time, either through acts of service. Some women don't care about acts of service or quality time. They just want gifts. They crave attention through gifts. Some don't care about gifts. They crave attention through physical touch, as in hugs and kisses and intimacy. Some crave attention through... They crave attention to words of affirmation. Hey, babe, I love you today. You look good today. You know what I'm saying? I miss you. They crave attention through these things. I'll take all 5 away from her. You spoke to me rudely. You were unjust. You treated me the way that you treated me. Get out of here. I'd do it in a very composed, disciplined, conductive, well put together way. I won't do it in a spiteful way. And I do it in a very manly way. A manly way. Because remember the Prophet ﷺ said, the strong one from amongst you is not the one who can knock over another guy, but it's the one who can contain himself. So your wife is being unreasonable in your face. By the way, that doesn't happen to me. Alhamdulillah. I'm okay. I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place like that, yeah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. There's got to be something wrong from the get-go, I think, in the relationship. Maybe something that the man is not laying certain things down, or something wrong with the woman, for the woman to even have levels where she's talking to man like that. Do you get me? But I'm saying, if you put me in that situation where a woman's talking like that, wallahi, I'm going to like her man. I'm not going to let my anger get the better of me. Definitely not in terms of being physical with her, because it's not manly to put your hands on a woman. And definitely not in terms of my tongue, because I don't believe that's manly either. I'm just going to be like, okay, give it a cold shoulder. And you know the way to do it? And this is where it's not just about being patient. This is where it becomes effective. Let's say she's done it one day, for a day. Give her a cold shoulder for a day. That's it. Just nothing but her rights. I'm telling you something that people are not going to tell you. This is stuff that guys are afraid to tell you because of feminists start getting onto man. We don't really care about feminists. You're not getting married anyway. No man wants to marry that unless a man who's feminine, and they're not going to be attracted to that guy anyway. So it's most likely going to break up with him or going to go cheat on him, sadly, which is what happens. And then they're going to be like, oh, I cheated on my husband. It's because you're feminine. Of course, not all feminists cheat on their husbands. I'm just, I'm just having a bit of fun here. The point of the matter is that this is what you do. First date, let's say she violates you. If she violates you, okay, airtime for a whole 24 hours. Nothing but her rights. Rights as a Muslim, salam. Salam alaikum. That's her right as a Muslim. She's sick. Rights for a Muslim. If she dies, I'll pray a janazah prayer. Do you understand? Rights that a Muslim has, you do for her. And her rights as a wife. Food, provision. And give her the food, that's it. Give her the money, that's it. I'm not going to sit there and, chat to her. Give her her maintenance. Give her what she needs. Give her her rights. That's it, but that's it. Let's say she does it again. Okay, now 2 days, double it. Play the double. Double game is painful. 2 days. Ooh. She's not used to this now. Where's it coming from? But let's say she's used to it. She still does it. 4 days. Double it. 8 days. 16. Wallahi, by the 16th day, she's going to be like, she's going to understand. Because for her, look, number one, it's good for you as a man because you're not creating more of a drama. You're not creating more of a drama. You're not adding fire to the...
But that might be seen as creating more of a drama.
Not at all. Not at all. She will never see it as... No, I won't say never, but 99% of the time, that will not be seen as creating more drama because at the end of the day, you're not adding fire. You're not adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
You're not making the fire bigger. All you're doing is you're saying, look, you're violating me. Remember, I'm not talking about manipulating a woman. I'm not talking about you oppressing her. I'm saying she's actually violating you, which happens, right? Which happens. Women do violate. Look, there are two genders, male and female. Okay. It's going to be one of the two that's responsible for problems in a marriage, right? If not both of them. But let's say in this situation, it's her. She's violating you. She's treating you unjustly. Air her now. She's not getting the message. I'm talking about the best way to communicate. It's different with a child. With a child, I can say, shut up, sit down. I was not going to tell shut up to a child, but I'm saying I can just say, sit down, behave. You're grounded. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not effective with adults. But you want her to understand, listen, you're overstepping the mark. Okay? You're overstepping the mark. Get her where it hurts. Attention. I promise you, akhi, I'm yet to see a brother who implemented this and it didn't work for him. Literally. And I'll tell you something. If there's a situation where now, because some brothers might be watching this and they might already be married and they might be like, look, I'm in a relationship. I've tried the game, right? Air her for a day, but it's not working. Shall I tell you why? It's because she's been conditioned otherwise.
By him.
But yeah. Because in her mind, I shout, I scream, I fuss, I kick. He always comes back to me.
That's brilliant that you mentioned that, yeah. Do you know why? Because, alright, cool. Now, what's the line when the first sort of beef kicks off? How does a man pattern his wife?
That's what I'm saying. The first time, I don't really want to use the word pattern. I don't think it's appropriate to use pattern when it comes to girls. Cut him out there. That's it. Cut him out on Twitter right there.
Alright, cool.
That was him. That wasn't me. Cut him out there.
You man know what I mean by pattern, innit?
You want to
okay, how
set the conduct.
Set
the conduct.
Set the standard.
Set the standard. Yeah. So the way you do it's like I just said. Look, I'm not saying every single time your wife does something that you disagree with, you pull her out on it and you air her for a day. No, because it's got times you got to let things go. Remember the Prophet ﷺ said she's like women are like a bent rib. Okay, if you try to bend it, straighten it too much, it will snap. But if you leave it there and you never try to correct it, it will always stay bent. So you got to straighten it. You got to straighten a bent rib, but what you got to do? With time. Sometimes you're like, today, I'm not gonna lie, I've been straightening it a bit too much. Today I'm gonna let it go. You might let it go 4 or 5 days in a row. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying every time you pull her up on it, but when you feel like, okay, this is this is inappropriate now, I need to get a message across. This is not healthy for the relationship. This is toxic for the relationship. It's toxic for you. It's toxic for me. So in that situation, what do? You air her now first time. Second time, if you found it effective, you might air her for a day again. Sometimes airing her for a day is enough. But she might be repeating those same things. Okay, 2 days now. Okay, just what I'm saying. If you do that now, every time, you might just need, and I'm not saying air for the rest of your life. Eventually, sometimes when you've set the pattern, human beings are people, they're going to make mistakes, right? So it'll just be like, babe, that's inappropriate. I don't actually appreciate that from you. Yeah. Or, you're stepping out of line and I don't like this. It's not healthy. Sometimes just saying it will be okay, but you're saying it on the base of the foundation that you already built, where she understands how wrong it is. And she understands how wrong it is because she knows she's going to lose what she wants most, which is your attention, your love, in other words. Love. Just replace attention for love. Of course she wants love. That's the whole point of marriage. Unless we put you together in pairs Y, and we place mawaddatan wa rahmah, love and mercy between the two of you. So she wants love from this relationship. So you're depriving her from it, or from a portion of it, of your love, because of the way she's treating you. That will get her where it hurts. It will make her understand, listen, love which I want, I'm not going to get. So I'm behaving in a particular way that's not allowing me to get that love. So let me just straighten out for a second. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying every time you come back and you just keep doubling it. You only double it if she's not getting a point. If she gets the point and every now and again she makes a mistake, more time you let it slide. But if she keeps repeating it, then just maybe air her for a day again, maybe 2 days. But now I'm talking about a situation where, let's say you've been in a relationship. Some brothers are thinking, oh my days, damn man is really that man that if I spoke to him before I got married, I wish I was strides right now, sitting here listening to this stuff, because me, like, it's been 2, 3, 4 years, bro. My wife is just, she's just dashing things at me in the room. She's shouting at me, she's screaming at me, and I'm in a cycle. What do I do? And some might even say, I've tried the silent treatment. Because it's not rocket science. I'm sure someone's given them advice somewhere. They read in some article, some book, give her silent treatment. It's a technique that's been around for millenniums. Do you understand? He's thinking, it's not working for me. When I have silent treatment, like you said, she gets more angry and more angry. Shall I tell you why that is? It's because she's set in a certain behavior. So now, if you want to rewire the pattern of the relationship, and you want to recondition the situation, then at the beginning, yeah, of course, it's not going to be easy. Because in her mind, when she violates you and you now go and ignore her for a day or two, in her mind, she's thinking, I know the cycle. He's going to come back to me on day 3. Because it's always happened that, we have a fight. 1 or 2 days goes by, he's upset. On the 3rd day, he comes back to me. Or she just has to come back at you on a little cute, hey, baby, like my back hurts today. Can you give me back rub? Like, one of them ones. And literally, boom. Like something happens from her or from you and you forget about it. As a man, you forget about it. Whether she breaks the ice or you break the ice yourself, she knows he's going to forget about it. 2-3 days are going to pass and we're going to be back into the cycle. And then her mind, the pain of upsetting you and the pain of oppressing you and the pain of violating you is not very much. So now you have to flip it and make it more painful for her to violate you. You have to make the pain of oppressing you greater for her. You have to leverage that. Because right now she doesn't feel the pain of violating you. But if she feels pain when she violates you, she's not going to violate you anytime soon again. So at the beginning, 2-3 days, she's thinking, he's going to be back around the corner any minute. So you might think, I have been airing her, but it's because you went in. Go 4 days. By the 5th day, she's confused. She's thinking, he's not coming back to me. What's going on here? 6th, 7th day, she starts to make efforts. 8th, 9th day, she starts to actually get angry, switching it on you, turning it on you. Oh, you're hearing me. Oh, look, I'm doing that. She's trying to use reverse psychology. 10th, 11th day, she starts to break. You understand?
Yeah.
12th, 13th day, she starts to make little efforts now. Comes to you now. You can tell she feels bad, but she's not saying it. Because a lot of women, even men, but like I said, I'm not talking about men, I'm talking about women right now. They don't like to, when they've been in a habit of violating you, they don't like to apologize. They'll just come and show you without saying it. No, I want to see that apology. I want to know that you understand why you're wrong, so it doesn't happen again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
14th, 15th day, she starts to come to you. I'm sorry, she'll say. At that point, don't give in straight away, because then it will condition the behavior inside of her, which is the moment I say sorry, it's going to go back to normal. Right, you're sorry? I don't know. I forgive, but I don't forget. You come at a bar like that. Maybe stretch it out another couple of days. I'm saying this is when you're trying to rewire the weight.
This is when you're already in.
This is when you're, do you know what I'm saying? Maybe 20 days, 22 days, 20, I'm saying, it doesn't have to go, but I'm just saying it's up to you. It depends. It might be less, it might be more, depending on your dynamics, your situation. But I'm telling you the stages that she will go through. She'll definitely go through these stages.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know what I'm saying? It will get to a point, and I'm talking about the perfect formula. She's coming to you apologizing. Eventually, we'll get to a point where she's so confused, thinking, have I lost my husband? Is he going to leave me? Is he going to abandon me? Is he going to divorce me? Is he going to get out of a relationship? What's going to happen? And at that point, she'll stop trying to actually get you back because she's confused. And she thinks she's about to lose you. And you have to properly show her, I can live without you. You have to show her, listen, I can live without you. I don't need you to live right now. In that time, I'll cook my own food. In that time, I'll get my food from outside. Everything I'll do independently in that situation. That's the situation to show that you're independent. Because when she knows, in her mind, it's like, okay, the food will bring him in. The intimacy will bring him in. A lot of women use intimacy, bro. There's a big problem amongst men. But the moment she just takes it off, he forgets everything. Lie in that situation. That's her nuclear bomb, you know that, right? When she comes at you with that, and you look at her, and you say, speak to the hand. Because the face, it don't understand. In that situation, she's like, right, even that didn't get him. In that situation, but she knows she lost control. So
boom, it's finished for them.
Then you're not a man then. That's my point. Be a man. Be a man. Control yourself. Because in the end, you're going to go back to being her lapdog. You're going to go back to her basically just treating you the way she's treating you. You want to reverse the cycle. I'm saying, if you can't firm it for a month at least, I'm saying, this month is month of reconditioning, brother. You've gone 2-3 years in this relationship where she's been in control. She's been literally riding the horse. Giddy up, donkey. You know what I'm saying? So man's there. The man's in a situation. He's like, got a family. Like 2-3 years, you've been getting, you've been getting violated. Now, firm it for a little bit. Control it. Eventually, she's gonna get to a point where there's that confusion and there's that, oh my God, what do I do? Am I gonna lose him? At that time, slowly bring her in. But what you do is listen, darling. I won't even recommend say darling in that situation. Say, look, I've been thinking. You're apologetic, yeah? Okay. I don't know, but we can maybe see what happens, inshallah. Because this is not healthy. And if you've got kids, it's not healthy for the kids. Be like, we can try and make up, inshallah. But we have to identify certain issues that keep recurring. We have to deal with find solutions to these problems. Write it out. Set a plan. Identify. Sometimes, look, you can't just air the woman. Or you can't just, the same way you can't do it to a child, you can't do it to a student, you can't do it to anyone. You can't just punish someone, like, silent treatment is a form of punishment, right? You can't just punish someone and they don't know what they did wrong. Because sometimes they don't even know what they did wrong. You have to identify it and say, look, I'll ask the person, what do you think should be the consequence if you don't do this? What do you, let them stay, okay, so you think I should air you for another month. 2 months, you think. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Did you think this would be an adequate punishment? Okay, write it down. Now she's telling you this is how you should punish. So in her mind, she knows, rah. You know what I'm saying? She knows that if I slip up, this is what he's going to do to me. I'm going to have to go for that lack of love again, that lack of affection again. You see what I'm saying? And no doubt she will probably do it again. When she does it again, slip back into airtime mode. But this time, you might not have to do it for a month. Maybe do it for 2-3 days because she gets the message. Maybe a week. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is, akhi. But then, like I said, it's relationship from both sides is push and pull. Push and pull. This time, sorry, it's not push and pull. Sorry, it's pull and release. Like tug of war. Pull and release. Do you get me? So now you're pulling. Because she's been pulling that whole time. She's been dragging man on his face. But now you're just pulling it just to get a bit of control. And then what you do, every night you release. Because remember, like I said, she's a bent rib. The Prophet ﷺ said, if you carry on putting pressure, you're going to snap her. You'll snap the woman. She'll lose it. And wallah, it's not fair on her. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're different. Their psychology is different. Their biology is different. The way they think is different. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah. But if you leave her and you don't, then she's going to stay like that.
All right, cool. You know what? From another aspect here, so when you become a married man, now you're not only a son.
Eat, man. Eat. Brothers, eat. Eat, man. Eat, bro. Little bit.
You know them humble ones. I already get what I was thinking. Alright, so from another angle, so now you get married, yeah? So now you're not just a son to your mother, but you're a husband to your wife. How does a man find that balance between keeping his mother happy and keeping his wife happy? Because now he's got 2 women in his life who he loves. But it's like sometimes it's hard to find that balance, innit? Because I know certain brothers, they just can't be man enough to, say this is right, this is wrong, that. And they kind of set the foundation for that sort of balance, innit?
I'm not going to lie, that's a proper long answer. It would be best we do that
on another thing.
Should we start marriage talk again?
What, the series that we used
to
do?
Like, I'm saying.
Yeah, why not? I don't mind.
Yeah, we should start that again. That's a separate video.
Okay.
It's a bit long. You know why? It's because, look, reason I'm talking so much and I'm going in because these are relationships. And any answer I give you is not going to always apply across the board. Because people are complicated and different in so many different ways that I could give you one answer, but if there's a slight difference in your actual situation, it might not apply in the way that I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to give you this example, that scenario. Tell you, look at it from this way. That's why you see how I explain it. I said, but this might happen, but that might happen. But if it's like this, so I'm saying the relationship thing, like the mother-in-law is a different thing now. It's a different dynamic. So I don't want to say something that will cause you to oppress your mum or that could cause you to oppress your wife in opposite way. So let's talk about that in a separate kind of thing.
Alright, khalas. Alright, so what else is there then?
Well, like another thing is be a man, innit? Like a lot of men
But what do you mean? Like, how? You know what? Yeah. Sometimes you think, okay, being a man, you feel like you're doing what a man should be doing.
Like what?
For example, you've given your wife her rights. Okay, you're laying the foundations down. You're, doing what you're supposed to be doing for her. Everything is on the table, but she's still not happy with you. She's still not feeling.
If she's not happy with you, that's because she's a woman, bro. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I was shown the fire." Hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Kitab al-Iman. I was shown the fire. وَأَكْثَرُ أَهْلِهَا النِّسَاء, and the majority of its inhabitants were women. أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Why? The Prophet said, يَكْفُرْنَا. The Sahaba said, أَيَكْفُرْنَا بِاللَّهِ, did they disbelieve in Allah? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no, they didn't disbelieve in Allah. Rather, يَكْفُرْنَا الْعَشِيرِ وَيَكْفُرْنَا الْإِحْسَانِ, they disbelieved in their husbands and the good that their husbands done. If you done good for her, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this whole time, and she saw from you something that one time she didn't like, she would look at you and she say, ما رأيت منك خير قط. I've never seen you do any good in your whole entire life. That's the nature of women. You see what I'm saying? A righteous woman will have less of that. A non-righteous woman will probably have more of that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's connected to Iman. The issue of appreciation, shukr, is an issue connected to Iman. So you're gonna have women who have that kind of an attitude. You see what I'm saying, to life. And you have to be ready for it. I mean, the Prophet said it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So women have that nature of, never saw anything good from you. Never. Like, girls love that word, never. And never, ever, ever, ever. Like, girls love the word never, ever, forever. You see what I'm saying? Bro, it's women now. For you to get upset with that, bro, she's a woman. Like, you have to have that air, that time in it. But of course, there might be a situation in which the relationship's getting toxic, so toxic that, like you need an exit. If that's the case, then you have exit. But, again, I don't think it's manly for a man to constantly keep bringing divorce into the equation. I have a rule in my marriage. We don't use the D word. Divorce. It doesn't even come up in conversation. It's not allowed to come up. Because the day it comes up, that's a serious day. When we talk about divorce, if we talk about divorce, may Allah protect us from divorce. But that's going to be a day where that word is going to have weight. Divorce just got brought onto the table. And there might be times when the relationship is going a certain way where you have to bring it to the table. You do. You might not get divorced, but you might say, maybe we should get a divorce. You're not getting a divorce. You're not saying, I've divorced you. You're not finding those talaq bullets. It's not happening like that. But what you're saying is, let's talk about it. In that situation, because you've never brought it up, and it's a no-go zone for you, it's a no-fly area for you, yeah? The day you do it, it'll be taken serious. And she'll be like, whoa. Like, he brought divorce onto the table. This is not a joke. It actually came to his mind. Like, he considered leaving me forever. Yeah? That day it will hold weight. But if you bring it up regularly, because a lot of guys suffer from this. My wife is always asking for divorce. Go on then, divorce me. I dare you. Wallah, divorce me now. Divorce me. Allah di qasam, divorce me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they suffer from this. Do you see what I'm saying? In that situation, bro, it's because you kept bringing it up. But if you brought, on a day when you brought it up, wallah, it's like the clouds just came over and the thunder and lightning went into the background and she's like, right, divorce. Like, you know what I'm saying? That day, the day she's going to take it seriously. But for you to always bring it up, wallahi, man, I don't think it carries much weight anymore. And no wonder she's got into the habit of, go on then, divorce me. And then what do? Because your manhood's been attacked, divorce. And you didn't even need to, like, you got pushed into. That's like literally when you're on road and a man are telling you, you're wet, bro, look at the way man wasted you. You're going to have that from him. And you're like, no, I'm not going to have it from him. And you just stab him. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not really you being a man. Do you get me? So the divorce thing, wallahi, is not something that should come onto the table. It's a word that really shouldn't be brought up. And you shouldn't have this, let me jump out and let me quit mentality. It's a very quitter kind of mentality. Like, relationships are tough. You spent 4 or 5 years studying a business management degree to learn how to manage a business, to learn how to manage your employees. You might do a financial management degree to learn how to manage your finances. And bro, you think you can be an expert at managing the most complex relationship on planet Earth, which is that of a husband and wife, and you never took out the time to study? You'll never, with that mindset, be successful. And you'll always be a quitter. Rather, if you're into a situation where you're struggling, you're like, okay, this is not working out, I'm not able to manage this relationship. You know what, bro? pick up a pen and a paper, go to a guy who knows and ask him to teach you and educate you. Men have a problem. They don't like to ask for advice. No, actually, that's wrong. Men like to ask for advice, but only from the one that they know will actually give them value. You see what I'm saying? Women ask advice from everyone. Men will not. They'll go only to that one guy. They're like, yeah, you know, this guy actually might be able to give me some value. But you're in a situation you don't have that guy in your life. Seek him out then. Make active effort to seek him out. And study, bruv, ahkam of marriage, the rulings and the fiqh of marriage. Is, you know, it's even obligatory for you at the time you're looking to get married that you know these things. See what I'm saying? Study the rulings of talaq. Like some brothers end up divorcing their wife, didn't even realize they divorced my wife. A man turns around and says, I never want to see you again. It's over. Get out of my house. It's over forever. Just because he didn't say the word talaq, he didn't say divorce. He thinks I haven't divorced her. What you said means divorce. So you've divorced her. Some men have said that 100 times to their wife. And they still go and they're sleeping with each other. So the point of the matter is that study, seek knowledge, learn. Do you get me? Because that will stop a lot of this.
So alright, cool. So you mentioned, yeah. Okay, so a man has to, what do you call it? Fear Allah. You mentioned that in situations of arguments, he has to be a man, innit? And like, just, you know, deal with the situation accordingly.
Yeah. Talking to the mic though.
You also mentioned about the divorce stuff. Okay. What else is there? Because say a brother is actually like quite cool. I understand this. He doesn't want no surprises when he's getting married. He wants to be a man. What else does he have to know now?
Make sure he's providing for financially. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, الرجال قوامون على النساء. That the men have been placed in responsibility, authority over the women. Your qawwama over the woman. It's based on two things. Go on.
Alright, cool. So basically,
is it keema samosa or chicken samosa? No, I know it's keema, but is it lamb keema or is it chicken keema?
Alright, look at this here. So basically, say the sister, okay, that the man is trying to marry. Yeah, say the sister the man's trying to marry, right? Is comes from a wealthy family.
Yeah.
Alright. The dad's provided for her a lot of, you know, blessings. The man can't do this. Yeah, she's got like a lot of things. Like she's been spoiled the whole of her life. And she got married to this guy who he's not like her dad. Okay, he doesn't have all of that, but she expects all of that from him. How does he react? Because obviously he has certain things that he is supposed to provide for her.
Don't marry that girl.
No, but she's okay with it in the first place.
But then if she's okay, then that means she's okay with living that lifestyle.
Okay, but from this angle though, she's okay with it in terms of she thinks you already understand that this is how it's gonna go, innit?
You're an idiot for not making it clear. I won't be able to live that life. Not you, obviously.
Yeah.
He knows I cannot give her that lifestyle that her dad. I cannot give her Gucci handbags. I will struggle to maybe get her a Primark one. In that situation, you shouldn't marry that girl. She might be a very righteous girl, and it's okay for her to be used to a particular lifestyle. I'm not putting her down for that. But you can't give her that lifestyle. You're not compatible with her. And stop living in romance fairy tales. You know, the princess marries the pauper. No, it doesn't work like that. Might be in some situation, but really and truly, if she's been raised a certain way, she's used to a certain standard of living, then she should marry a guy who'll be able to give her that lifestyle or something close to it. If not, then there's just going to be problems. She's just going to be unfulfilled, unhappy, and so on and so forth. And a lot of people don't consider these things at the beginning. That makes sense? But if she's willing to give up that lifestyle, then it's up to her, isn't it?
But does she have a right to complain then after?
Not in a rude way. Like I said, feminists, you're going to force me to say things where they're going to cut me up. But women are always going to complain, regardless.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between being complain and like this being a problem.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Look, me personally, I know the character I have in it.
Huh?
Me personally, I know the character I have in it. I can't deal with someone who wants to completely, always complain. Do you understand? Like me, I can't. Like if you're gonna complain, I'm gonna ask you why you're in a relationship with me. Do you get me?
Okay, let me tell you something. She's gonna complain.
Yeah, but like, look, I'm
is she gonna complain?
You, yeah?
Is she gonna complain? Is she gonna complain? Is she gonna complain?
But
and these are good girls.
I'm trying to say every day all you hear is complaints. Things that you never even done.
That's marriage, bro.
Every day.
Marriage.
Brothers might have to reconsider this thing, innit?
I'm being serious.
No, but honestly, like
Ask a married
in
guy.
that situation, because a lot of brothers, like, okay, fair enough, yeah, be a man.
Bro,
this,
my wife's
that.
complaining to me right now.
No, but I'm trying to say to you, fair enough, okay.
Right
be
now,
a
my wife's
man.
complaining to me. And we're in a really good place. Alhamdulillah, we've got a good relationship. Like, wallah, I'm not even just saying it for camera. Like, we've got a banging relationship, but she's complaining to me right now. So Allah better go.
Allah better.
It's normal.
But what is it? What do I do? Because I know I can't handle that, innit?
Like I said, bro, if it starts to really get annoying, airtime, and then, you know, let it go every now and again, airtime. Like, that's marriage, bro. You thought marriage is easy, babe. Let's, you know. Huh? Wallah, marriage is politics. Ooh, wallah, it's literally. Okay, today we'll... Huh?
The real siyasa sharia.
Yeah, wallah, real siyasa sharia. Akhi, these ikhwanis need to stop Jeremy Corbyn. They need to bring you into some marriage politics class. It's politics, bro.
What do you mean it's politics? Like, are you trying to say what? Like,
today you have to let her win. Tomorrow you win.
no,
You know,
no,
it's
it
like
doesn't work
literally-
like that, bro.
Huh?
How do you win
What'd you
against a
say?
woman?
Bit of acting, bit of drama.
Yeah, but acting, drama. That's what it's true.
Straight face.
What I be like, you know I'm vulnerable right now, and you say that to me. I'm talking as the guy. Sometimes you gotta bring that kalam in. You know I'm vulnerable right now. You know I feel vulnerable. I'm going through a hard time. And that's not every day though. It's like, oh, rah, you know, man's reverse psychology. You know what I mean? Usually she's dropping that bar on you. You get me? And sometimes it's like, sorry, what was that? We don't we don't tolerate that kind of language in this house. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit of it.
It's about switching it up.
Wallahi, this is what I'm saying. This is why this podcast is important for you. And every other, now you see we're getting deep now. This is what every non-married brother needs to understand. Marriage is politics. It's a game. Literally, that's why when we did that course, we called it the game of marriage. It's a game. Level 1. Ooh. There's a boss at the end of that level. Level 2. Ooh. You understand? Sometimes you lose a life. You understand? Literally, that's marriage for you, bro. That's marriage for you. That's marriage for you. Listen, let's leave it at level 1 here today because the brothers need to go home. We can continue.
Inshallah.
We continue, inshallah. Right now, it's the boss stage. It's the boss stage. It's the boss stage. I think we got to carry this on. It's important. Like, yeah, well, like marriage.
Most definitely.
For that guy who thought marriage was literally just me going, I'm going to jump into the car. I'm not going to have to change gears. I'm not going to have to, you know, stop at traffic lights. I'm not going to have to reverse, do a 3.10. I'm just going to automatically go forward. Wallahi, that brother, he been watching too much PS I Love You and Notebook.
What's that?
Movies are haram anyway, but it's movies, isn't it? All movies are haram. Even Ertugrul, whatever the hell. Whether you like it or not, but
On that note, inshallah ta'ala, this is definitely probably a part 1. Definitely have to, inshallah, do another part 2. But yeah, we'll leave it at that, inshallah. Anything we've said in this podcast which was wrong or a mistake is from us and the shaitan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are free from it. Any benefit that you could have taken is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. I know basically in this podcast there was a bit of joking and whatnot, but still we have to keep that seriousness as well, innit? Obviously there's always that serious element, but we try to just make it a bit more, you know, on that relaxing side, inshallah. By the way, assalamu alaikum. If I was going to drop something.